Welcome back to the Foundation. This is swaythoven. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go about making maybe some more, I'd say, advanced MIDI patterns, which basically is just melodies, but I don't think advanced is the right word. And I just got done making one earlier today, and I thought it came out pretty nice. That's why I'm making this video. Alongside this idea that I have this plugin called Spawn, right? I'm not using Spawn, but I have this plugin called Spawn that makes melodies, and it shows you the MIDI, and you can take the MIDI from there and use it for your own. But like, I've been using that recently because I guess I've been kind of lazy. Really haven't been engaging my brain, using my creativity. And honestly, the MIDIs there are kind of dicky. Not all of them. Some of them are manageable. But I kind of forget that like when you start doing yourself, making it from scratch, just more control, have more of a feel for it. And there's nothing wrong with that in Spawn because you can control the notes and stuff like that. But what I like to do is get a simple piano, just find a random minor scale because I only work in minor, and honestly that might be like a limitation of mine, just working in minor, but it's not really a limitation at all if you think about it, because there's an infinite amount of things that I can do in the A minor key, you know what I'm saying, besides make it sound happy, I guess, or I don't know, but you feel me? With minor and how we structure the chords and stuff like that, it's obviously going to have a certain feel. But how you structure the chords, kind of, and it doesn't necessarily influence the melody. So it really depends. I like to do hand in hand. Like, you'll see how I do it. Because it's like some people will start with like a bass line, then make the chords, then maybe make some melody, and then maybe chop up the chords, making more melody, and then maybe make some more sustained chords or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So what you would have here is like, a chord right here, and like melody, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people do it in order. The way I do things is not in order. Everything kind of unfolds. Everything evolves while it's going. That makes it sound like I'm about to make a crazy melody. I'm probably not. But it's like the same thing when I write lyrics. I will not write them in order. I'll like make one stanza, if that's the right thing to say. Like, I'll make one little 4-line thing, leave a space, and make another 4-line thing, leave a space, make another 4 lines. And then I'll realize I'm gonna say stanza. The first stanza and the third stanza make way more sense in order than going 1, 2, 3. It makes way more sense to go 1, 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of workflow and thinking that there's an order to like even start anything, there's not. You can start with the drums. You can start with this or that and the third. And that's actually what I did. I started with the drums with that melody, and it actually started from just an idea from my brain when I was half asleep. And I woke up instantly. I was like, oh, this is pretty lit, kind of flowy. So anyway, enough talking. We'll see if I can pretend to make a melody after all that talking like it's going to be good. Forgot what key. I think I put in A. A minor, so it's all about offset, right? Just gotta, instead of thinking about, ooh, I have to make a melody, just think you gotta make something rhythmic. That also obviously sounds good, right? Right, already there, like every time. When I have a chord, the way I like to think about chords is like maybe just a little bounce, like, but I don't make a lot of chords. I always end up changing it anyway. And the thing about this evolving beat thing is like, I can have an idea for a song based off of just the beat, right? The hi-hat, snares, and the drums, all the percussions. But then if I start adding MIDI, it changes the whole vibe. You know what I mean? So it's just like, the idea evolves over time. That's also an important thing to have in mind. These go faster. Okay, actually it'll be 5. Bum, bum. I don't know if this is gonna sound right though. It does sound right. The problem is, I don't like working with the high, the high first, because it's just like I gotta make sure the chords under here are actually right. Not like it's hard, but it's just like. Fire. That's gonna be the bottom right there. Bum, 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 bum. See, that's what I'm saying. Right here, I'm gonna work on this. I'm pretty sure this chord works, but you see how I revisited back at it after I said okay. After I changed the bass line, I had to do a little bit of rearranging. It's like a Rubik's cube almost. I'm gonna just repeat that. Maybe this will work too. Fire, easy. So it's like so easy, bro. Now I don't have sound selection with this, but screw the sound selection part. What I'm gonna do is just open up Spawn. All right, open up another piano roll. Now the thing about this melody, obviously, it has a little bit more stuff than what I feel AI would do. So like that's kind of like we're just putting it out there right now. But let me see. We use the piano. What else does it sound like? It sounds. I'm not gonna say bright, but even though it's a minor key, we'll put it in minor. We'll put it in A sharp minor too, just because that's what we did, right? It's energetic. I'd say it has the potential to be energetic. There's no delay. So we'll just see what's up with, like, the what it gives me basically. Personally, this isn't a bad MIDI, I would say. Like, I can already tell how it would repeat this, but as you can see, what I did with the top line is that I didn't repeat the same top line right here. You see how I had the first half and then I ended up going up? What I swear Spawn does is just like, it just kind of like changes two notes. How these first two notes are going up right there. Now they're just going down. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think Spawn does it that good. I ain't gonna lie, dude. But no, let's keep listening to some of these melodies just to compare. You know what I mean? It's such a hard thing to explain, but right here, the second half, you can just tell that it's just gonna be kind of basic in a way. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty solid. I've actually hold up. I mean, yeah, there you go. I don't even want to pretend like it's mine's better. Guess we'll add another snare. I think another snare would actually make sense, cause the first snare is like not really on the 3 and the 7. Why she like that? Why she like that? Why the bitch like that? If you need it, feeling, bitch, you tryna fight back. I can tell you feeling, but she really like that. That's how I make beats. By the way, I have to hum the lyrics. I have to hum the flow. Yeah, but